Have you ever played a game that didn't seem very remarkable, a game that seems very basic and didn't do that much to push itself to be more, but you end up playing it over and over again because there is something there, but you just can't put your finger on it? Maybe the simplicity is all that's needed, but I don't know. For me, Space Junkie is that type of game. Something I played as a kid and kept opening up every once in a while. It's a space shooter in the most classic arcade sense, reminding me of Space Invaders but not quite copying the formula. According to the Macintosh Garden, this game was released in 1995, but the readme file with the version I'm playing was released in 1997 by Tuan Huynh. There's a PC release of the game that I've seen as being released in 1993, but the last time I tried playing it, the game speed was too high on my modern PC. Space Junkie plays like most space shooters, except in a few areas. For one, after firing your gun, you'll notice that besides the 3-shot limit, your gun overheats after continual use. A bar in the top right corner will turn green to an increasing red until you overheat and have to wait a sometimes uncomfortable amount of time, about 10 seconds. In this time, you'll be dodging enemy fire, hoping that the side of the screen will be an area of safety. The object is to figure out how to manage your firepower and be able to dodge or blast enemy fire to survive. The unique thing about the shooter is that the enemies on each screen are not inching closer and closer to the bottom of the screen like Space Invaders. They're moving in certain patterns with different firing rates, making it so you have to know when to press for an attack or retreat and dodge out of the way. There are 15 levels with different enemy types and movements. And if you pass level 15, you start from the beginning again, seeing how high you can get your score and how long you can loop the game. If you ever get tired of looking at your ship, there are 6 different ship options in the Preferences menu. You can also choose to play the game with a mouse or keyboard. The repetitive, short looping music somehow reminds me of X-Files, and while it can get annoying, there's always the option to turn it off if you want to. I usually leave it on. The visuals, while not much to them, have plenty of work put into making sure that each level had different enemies and patterns. To me, Space Junkie is the type of game you turn on for a few minutes, have fun, and come back to every so often. It isn't anything spectacular, and it doesn't have enough levels to make me interested in playing more than one loop, but it is different and simplistic enough for me to pass the time with. I recommend trying it out if you can. It's nothing mind-blowing, but I enjoy it well enough. Space Junkie was emulated using Basilisk for Windows. Click the links in the description if you are interested in the game shown or using a pre-OS X emulator for Mac or PC. And feel free to message me if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Any comments, likes, or dislikes on this video or any of my other videos would be appreciated. If you want to get in contact with me, message me on YouTube or Twitter. And if you want to see any of my previous work or my last reviews, click the links provided.